Everybody, Beer Leaguer here with a review of something a little bit different this time out. Going to be reviewing these. These are Enzo cleaning balls, cleaning pods. I don't really know what to call them. So what these are for is actually cleaning your gear. You know, here on the Beer Leaguer, we are big advocates of cleaning your gear more than you probably do. So, kind of show you what these guys are. They are kind of like a powdery ball. Uh, they remind me of if you guys ever used those laundry detergent balls that, like, one of these would do your whole load of laundry. They seem very similar in size and kind of similar consistency, sort of thing. Remind me of something like that, or like a pressed together thing of like OxyClean, which I think this is probably a very similar idea to it for. Looking over here on the website, what they say is it is a powerful, non-toxic cleaners and detergents, a natural enzymes that feast on sweat and oil. Supposed to have natural odor neutralizers and killers, and natural bacteria and microbe killers. So the whole idea is you fill up your bathtub with warm water, throw one of these guys in here, it dissolves, put all your hockey gear, well, not everything, not helmets, not skates, but all your other stuff, all your soft goods for hockey into the tub. They say let it soak overnight. We'll see how long it takes to do that. Let it soak, and it just makes that disgusting hockey soup that everybody sees when they try and clean their gear. So we're going to give it a try. I'll time lapse it as I do it in my bathtub and see how clean my gear gets and how much crap comes out of it for that. So the next thing you should see is me dropping one of these in my tub and the very exciting time lapse of watching water get disgusting. And then we'll kind of see how it turns out at the end. And we are back the next day using one of these Enzo gear bath bombs, trying it out on my not so stinky hockey gear to see how it worked. These guys, I'm going to take one out here and show you. Again, I mean, they very much are a bath bomb. That's kind of what they're like. You throw it in the water and it kind of fizzes up, like a bath bomb does. That's what it did. I was filling up my tub, warm water, and yeah, it just fizzed up and didn't really change the color of the water or anything like that. Not too much. There were some suds, but nothing crazy. And just dump my gear in and let it soak. Every so often, like every half hour or so, I kind of went over there I use a hockey stick and kind of shove it down underneath the water, just so my hands don't get gross and I don't have to keep washing my hands over and over to do this. And yeah, just kind of kept dumping it in there, and the water did get kind of gunky. You can see. It doesn't get gross. My gear is not disgusting like some people's is, because I do air it out after every game. I do wash it yearly, so it's not terrible. But I let it sit in there. They recommend having you sit your gear in the tub and let it soak overnight. I didn't go overnight. I know about how dirty the water gets usually, and honestly, after about 2 hours or so, it wasn't getting any darker. I let it sit in there for a little over 4 hours. It didn't get any darker. I figured that was probably good. I was flipping it over, kind of squeezing it in and out, dumping it into the water some more, and because stuff floats usually, and letting it do that, and it, did its thing. I then drained the tub, filled it back up with cool-ish water. You're supposed to use warm water to start. I used cool-ish water, and same kind of thing. The water was pretty clear at that point, didn't really get gunky or anything, and then let it dry in the tub. And here, hot tip of what I do is I take 2 hockey sticks, kind of place them at an angle across the top of the tub, and I put my hockey pants and my shoulder pads on that, stand up the shin guards inside the tub, and also stand up my elbow pads in there. If I were washing my gloves, I'd kind of stand them up too, and kind of having them stand up so water can kind of just come off of them while they're sitting in the tub there. It gets off a lot of the like loose water. So when you go to carry them outside the next day, like I did, put them out in the sun, you're not dripping water everywhere. Now, I did not wash my gloves with this, but that's just because I have newer gloves. After every game, I do put them on a glove dryer that also has like ozone that it puts into the gloves. They don't smell at all. They don't have any stains. They don't have any kind of grossness with them. They're in great shape because they are pretty new. So I didn't bother cleaning them with this. So how did this work? How does my gear seem after now going through, soaking in this stuff, one of these bath bomb guys, and having it sit outside? Seems clean. Seems really nice. I will say it doesn't seem like it's any cleaner than it is with some of the other methods. What I normally do for cleaning my gear, I have a video about gear cleaning. I will put a link to that down in the description here, and up wherever, somewhere around, there'll be a link for it. What I usually do for cleaning gear the last couple of years is I just do warm water with a couple of scoops of OxyClean, and then some sort of a either sport specific detergent or some kind of a more generic cleaner like a Simple Green or something like that, and do a similar thing where I put it in warm water, mix that stuff up, let my gear soak for a couple of hours, then take it out, let it kind of dry a little bit, and then put it out in the sun for a day, and works great. My gear doesn't smell at all. I don't think that's the perfect way to clean gear, but that's what I've been doing for years. Seems to work really well. So this little Enzo gear bath bomb, does it work? Yes, totally works. Totally cleans your gear. I'm kind of looking here at the website, and the stuff that it says that it has in it is basically things like baking soda, the same kind of stuff that is also in OxyClean that I use. It's got cornstarch and a type of clay that'll kind of soak up kind of the oils and sweat and all the grossness that's in your gear, which what I use doesn't have that. Vinegar powder, which vinegar, great for getting rid of smells, great for kind of cutting through and cleaning stuff. And because of vinegar powder, it doesn't have that vinegar smell. Some other things they have on here is like peppermint oil, tea tree oil, things like that are really good antibacterial and antimicrobial things, but also give a little bit of a nice smell to it. I will say, throwing this bath bomb in there with the stuff, it did have like a pleasant smell. I assume that's probably the tea tree oil and the peppermint oil, but my gear doesn't have a smell to it. I was really wondering if it would. It doesn't. My gear does not smell like peppermint oil or tea tree oil at all. But bath bomb had a nice smell to it, so that's something for it. But yeah, I mean, it's got nothing crazy in it. No kind of super proprietary kind of stuff in here, which I think is a good thing. They're not doing anything, super outside the ordinary. It's pretty close to just taking, if you took, again, some OxyClean, some baking soda, and a nice detergent, you're pretty close to what this does, but it's not nearly as convenient. And this does have some other things in there, like I said, like the vinegar powder and stuff like that, you could put vinegar in there. You could concoct something probably pretty close to this on your own, but it would be a pain in the butt, and I don't think anybody would do that. So take that for what you will. So do I think that these Enzo gear bath bombs work? 100%. Totally works. It's a super convenient way to clean your gear. They say put in a bathtub. I've done similar things where I don't use a bathtub. I just use a giant like plastic container, like a plastic tub. That totally works too if you don't want to use your bathtub. And you can do it all outside. This totally works. I think it's totally a worthwhile kind of thing to use. I think it's a super handy way to do it versus trying to get all this stuff together that you have, because there's just one bath bomb you drop in there. So I love that about it. One thing I don't super love is the price on these for just one. So just one of these bath bombs. I mean, that's all I used was one to clean my gear. Is $12.99. So that's a little pricey, I think, for one of these. And if you want to get this a 3-pack like this guy here, it's $27.99. So $28 for 3 of these. That's kind of expensive for this stuff. I mean, is it worth it? If it gets you to clean your gear, because more than likely you're going to use one, or I guess if your gear is really disgusting, 2 of these probably once a year. it's probably worth it. I mean, if you're going to use this, you're not using anything else to clean your gear, I think, that price, totally worth it to get your gear clean if you're not going to do it otherwise, because it is super easy. If you don't have those other cleaners around, or if you just want a simple, easy way to do it, I think that's a price that's worth it. Now, like for me, I probably won't be buying these again at this price, just because I do have that other stuff around in my house for doing laundry and cleaning in the house. So I have those things, and that's what I've been using to make something that's close to this, but again, doesn't have everything that this has in it. But again, my gear's not disgusting, so I don't think I benefit a ton from it. I think someone that had dirtier gear that you haven't maybe washed in a couple years, or for someone that during the season you leave your gear in your bag in the trunk of your car. I know a lot of people do that. This, having all those extra things in there that are antimicrobial and things to like clean up sweat and stuff like that, is going to do a lot more good for you than it does for me. So I would consider that as well. So if that's the case, $12.99 for one of these, or like I said, $28 for the 3-pack. I think it is worth it for that, if it gets you to clean up your gear better and it comes out nicer for it. So should you get it? Should you not? I think that's up to you where your gear's at with it and what you do now. If what you do now works, I don't think you need to get anything else for it. But if you want to try something else, or, maybe just like watching the bath bombs because they fizz up, it does have like some of that citric acid stuff in there, so it gets all fizzy and everything. It's kind of fun. Or, if you get these, you get the 3-pack, you clean your gear, you have kids, they clean their gear and everything, and everybody's gear is a lot less disgusting in the house, then it probably is totally worth it to do that. But it is a little bit on the pricier side, but it does seem to totally work for what it's supposed to. So if you've used anything like these Enzo gear bath bombs, let me know. I came across these on Instagram. I think it was just because I had been searching for recommendations for different like sport specific detergents to use to wash kind of my underclothing and stuff that I wear when I play. And I think the algorithm just found that and directed me towards these ads. I'm sure there's other products out there that are similar to this, do similar-ish things. I haven't ever seen them in like kind of this bath bomb form, but I'd be curious to see if you have, or if you've used Enzo or used one of these other ones that are out there. Have they worked? Have they not worked? How are you cleaning your gear? Would love to hear about it down in the comments. All right, thanks a lot for watching this review video, everyone. Hope you found it useful, and catch you in the next one.